What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Fanboy Talks, where we talk about everything you guys might care about. My name is Vaughn Hyde. I'm joined by my good friend Chase.
Hello.
Alright then, today we want to talk about Netflix originals. Specifically because I just watched Glow. It was awesome. I really enjoyed it. It's gorgeous ladies of wrestling. It's very interesting.
I've heard it's good.
Yeah, I've heard
I don't watch a lot of Netflix.
I do. I watch a lot.
So...
A lot of Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I do, it's usually pretty mainstream shows like The Walking Dead. I've rewatched that a few times.
Of course. I mean, come on. You
weird.
put it on The Walking Dead, you gotta watch Walking Dead, you know?
Yeah. But I have watched things that are originals like House of Cards. And so let's just start talking about House of Cards. You said you have not watched it.
Yeah, I don't really care about it. Like, political shows are always interesting to me, but I feel like they just, I don't know, just kind of bore me. Because I necessarily don't care about politics.
I really enjoy politics, so it was really cool to like see like an open curtain to what Washington is actually like. I say that in quotes because no one really knows, but this seems very close because just certain people manipulate other people.
Murder.
And things like that happen. But it was a really good show up until like season 3, and I think we're on season 5 now. It's kind of just dragging out, and I feel like a lot of Netflix original shows fall under that category. That they were really good. They were just out of the gate, just phenomenal shows. Mm-hmm. But then they just start going too long because they're like, oh, this is a cash cow. We're gonna get as much money out of this as possible, and I can't blame them out of a financial standpoint. It's a brilliant move, such as things like The Walking Dead are doing.
They just keep making it,
or the Game of Thrones are doing. They just keep pushing out more because people want more, and I've used a lot of quotations in this. But to be totally honest, if your favorite show never ended, you'd be kind of happy. Also kind of sad because there's no resolution.
Yeah, Supernatural fans.
Yeah, exactly. But a lot of Netflix shows fall under this, and I feel like Orange is the New Black has also fallen under that category. I've not personally watched it, but my whole family watches it, and they all say it was so good, but it's kind of dragging on. I mean, they say the new seasons are crazy, but it almost doesn't make sense in a way that it's like, why is this continuing?
Yeah. There's only so much prison.
But that's what they say. I've never actually seen it, so I probably shouldn't be talking about it. But I just feel like Netflix originals need to, and just TV shows in general, just need to know when to stop, when to give the people a resolution instead of just continuing to make episodes because it's making a lot of money.
Yeah, how do you feel about spin-off series then?
Spin-off series?
I'm a big fan of the spin-off series.
The only time spin-off series really work is when they set it up well. In the original show, if they don't set it up, I mean, I guess you could just say, oh, here's a character that you kind of know that you don't really like, maybe you do like, here's a show about him or her. Mm-hmm. But if they try to set it up in the actual show itself and totally fail, I think that there's some things that need to be rearranged in that.
Yeah. My specific thought on a spin-off series, I mean, this is kind of obviously away from Netflix originals, but my thought on a spin-off series is there's Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then there's The Adventures of Korra. She is the next Avatar afterwards. And I'm totally fine with that. I actually really liked The Adventures of Korra. I thought it was awesome. You got to see how the world changed, how Aang and all the cool characters changed, and what really happened after everything ended. And I really liked that, and I didn't think it like diminished the original series. And it felt fresh to me because it was what I wanted, but it was different. So it wasn't just like, cool, Aang is the same guy.
That's another problem that shows and spin-offs can come upon is the fact that it's a different character, it's a different set of characters, it may even be a different setting, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
From start to finish, it's, oh, he gets this, she gets this, and he gets this, but now it's, oh, this lady gets this, and this dude gets this, and this other dude gets this. A lot of the times it's the same show, different characters, different settings, and they want to say it's a whole new show.
Yeah, it's very predictable. I mean, this is obviously a completely different thing, but like every season of The Flash right now. It's like, come on, guys.
It follows a very similar template to the last.
Yeah, every season has basically followed the one before. And it's just like, I really like this show, but please stop doing the same thing.
And
like, I can guess how every one of your episodes is going to end.
And then we can also talk about just the show almost completely falling flat on its face. Like Iron Fist.
I know people that like it and think that it's being judged too hard. I personally didn't really like it. I thought Danny Rand was kind of a bland character. He wasn't like very interesting altogether.
The thing that got me really into the show at the very beginning, the first episode or first 2 episodes, was the whole aspect of him coming back, him being someone that everyone knows, but everyone thinks he's dead, and him trying to work through those like hardships of trying to prove who he is. And that to me was a really interesting concept. So if they just took that, him trying to prove who he was, and took it into a show on its own, nothing to do about superheroes, nothing to do about like the supernatural, just him coming back and being totally different than everyone, but still being him and like trying to assimilate back, I think that would have been a really interesting show.
Yeah, I think it definitely would have been good, but I mean, it is the Iron Fist.
Yes, take off the name the Iron Fist and name it Brad Pitt Comes Back or something. And
Brad Pitt Comes Back?
yeah, you know, you can get an A-list actor for that.
That sounds like a season of something. No, I mean, it sounds like a lot of shows have just about that season where somebody dies and comes back and like slowly tries to regain who they were. And I think,
but a lot of the time everyone's like, oh, that is them. It's not like, well, who are you?
I think it would have been cool if they did something like what you're saying, but more of like a very like, I don't know, mixed in hero, like how he juggles being a hero with also trying to just be a normal everyday human. The biggest thing about like who Danny Rand was and everything was that he was like, not only did I find him kind of be like a one-dimensional kind of like bland character, but also he gets his ass kicked a lot in that show. And that sounds weird. I mean, that sounds bad.
We're not used to that in
weird
superhero
criticism.
movies.
It's that he's the ultimate weapon, is what they call him. Like, several times in the show, he's the ultimate weapon, but gets fooled up, like, several times.
He has to figure out how to use that, though.
He's been learning for years!
Yes, but it doesn't always work.
Yeah, that's very interesting, that at certain points in times it doesn't work. I mean, there's definitely some good things about this show. I think it has good bones. It could have been a lot better, and I'm excited for Defenders, I believe, is what the next one is called. That's just off the top of my head. It may not actually.
Who's in that? That's got
Luke Cage. Essentially all the heroes that exist
Jessica
already.
Jones.
So, yeah. They got the Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Daredevil.
Okay.
So, I think it's going to be pretty good. I'm excited to see what happens. But my girlfriend, I was talking to her the other day, and this is kind of another segue. She was talking about how she's kind of sick of just things being branded like Netflix originals. And Netflix puts out a lot of stuff. If you haven't noticed
And a lot
recently,
of good stuff, really.
Yeah, they're making a lot of good shit right now. Like, they're putting out not only TV shows, but they're putting out movies. Like, I've watched several movies. Sure, some of them are, like, essentially a Transformers, where it's really meant to be a spectacle, not necessarily, like, a hardcore story, but then they also have the hardcore stories, which I enjoy, too. I absolutely love, I'm one of the people, like millions of people that like Stranger Things. I'm very excited to get a second season out of it.
Haven't watched it. Like I said, I don't watch a lot of Netflix, so I might have to watch it, you know?
Yeah, you're definitely going to have to watch it. It's a great show. And there's a lot of Netflix originals that are coming up that I'm really excited about. I'm super stoked for The Witcher. If they do it right, it could be an amazing show. I'm really excited about Castlevania. Sadly, like, most of the things I'm excited about for Netflix is just, like, video game stuff.
You know, one that did just come out that is a Netflix original is The Ranch. The newest season came out.
Oh, I fucking hate The Ranch.
And he's crazy.
Hate
it's
The
such a
Ranch.
funny show. But that is a great Netflix show.
I don't know why, but I actually don't like Ashton Kutcher as an actor.
I love him as an actor, dude. He's so awesome.
I think there's things he could do really well, but I just don't like him as an actor anymore.
I love him. It's a great show. You need to go watch it. Not you, because you don't like it.
You're putting your stamp of approval on
That
The
is
Ranch.
the Chase stamp of approval. It's one of the few Netflix shows that I actually like. Well,
you watch every season of?
I watch every season of. I mean, and it's pretty short. It's really not
3 seasons.
Yeah, it's pretty short. It's not really a long show yet. You know, Netflix are gonna drag it out to season 25, and he's gonna have 400.
It's gonna be the new
27
Orange is the New
kids,
Black.
and And yeah, but I hope they do start ending shows more responsibly. I say that with like air quotes because there's responsible is really like it's in the eye of the beholder. So
you want good endings?
I want good endings, and I want them to actually end instead of continue.
Yeah, and like they're like, oh, the end for this season. And you're like, Gah!
Yep, that's Netflix shows for you.
So now I want to talk about real quick TV shows that have been canceled or just not ended well, because that's a big topic of this episode, that we want to come to Netflix. So if Netflix just picked them up, made some more seasons, just ended
Which
them
is
well.
possible.
Like anything. Yeah, I mean, Netflix picks up a lot of shit. Like, let's be real here.
Yeah.
Like, they're making fucking Young Justice eventually.
And there are a lot of shows out there that are very good. They just get... The production just stops because... Well, Netflix, to be totally honest. People don't want to watch episode by episode.
Yeah.
They want to watch all the episodes. So, the funding and the views aren't there for the TV, so they gotta cancel it.
Fair. So, what TV show, movie, anything like that? What do you want to bring Netflix?
Well, back in the day... like a few years ago, there was a show on Netflix called The Finder. It was just about this dude that like went to war, and he was like a expert at like detecting like explosives and stuff. And some stuff happened while he was at war, and he came back and just decided that he's really good at like finding explosives, like where they are and stuff. Why doesn't he just find things or people and stuff? So people will come to him and be like, "Oh, I lost this item. Catches, I lost it 20 years ago, and there's been 2 hurricanes since then."
Scavenger hunt show.
And no, so he literally has like a board of just like a map with like dots and stuff of where it could be, and like trajectory from wind and all this other stuff. And it's just a really fun show. And I wanted to come back because it was really interesting.
So any show that you could have chosen, it would be The Finder?
Yes, The Finder.
Alright. I mean, I haven't watched it yet. I'll probably watch it now since you've given me a
super awesome
glowing recommendation, even though you like The Ranch, so...
Gotta hold that
I don't know if I can have that stamp of approval on The Finder, but maybe I'll watch it. Maybe.
Now for you, what do you got?
So my show, I mean, they're already making Young Justice eventually. They just get their head out of their ass. Come on, Netflix. What the fuck? Let's get that done. But the show I really want to come back is an occult classic. People love it, and I think Netflix could do something really well with it, and that's Firefly. I love Firefly. Malcolm Reynolds is amazing.
Well,
I
continuing the theme of not seeing this, I have not seen this.
Yeah, it's I mean, you can watch it. It's on Netflix.
Oh,
yeah,
shucks.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah. What am I doing here right now?
I also own the series, so you can borrow that.
Golly.
Yeah. I mean, it's only one season, and they were originally aired out of order. There's a lot of reasons that this TV show was canceled.
Aired out of order? That's weird.
Whole shitload of stuff happened. Like, the original pilot was meant to be an hour, and then the studio cut it, all sorts of stuff. The guy who directs the Avengers movies, Joss Whedon, he was the original creator of Firefly. Yeah, this is a good fucking show.
So it's got some name behind it.
Yeah, it's got some names behind it. It was so big that after... This is like one of the only shows that's been canceled and still got a movie. It was canceled, and then in like 2004, I think 2005, maybe as far as 2007, Serenity was made. Great show.
I don't think I've seen it.
In my opinion, it definitely left some stuff unanswered. It answered some questions, but I would actually like to just fill in the gaps between Firefly and Serenity. You get to know what happened.
You're talking, you want like one more season.
Not necessarily one more season, but maybe
You want
2.
some answers?
Yeah, I just want some answers. If it takes 2 seasons, sure. 3 seasons, sure. But essentially, Serenity is just the end of it. Kind of a thing. I want a couple seasons, maybe, and then you can end it. I'll be fine, I will be just...
So you want answers?
Satiated, yes. I just want answers in this fucking series.
Oh.
I mean, I already know a lot of what happens, because if you watch Serenity, shit happens, but... I just want filler.
Okay.
I want some filler.
That's fine. That's okay. Calm down.
That's about it for this episode. If you guys liked it, make sure you click that like button. Make sure you subscribe for all of our upcoming content. We post every Monday, Wednesday, Friday for these. And then on offshoots on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I did 2 unboxings last week, and we do other stuff other weeks, possibly some gameplay and stuff like that.
Maybe some comic book things. That'll be fun.
Yes, maybe some
Next Friday,
things.
we're actually going to be hitting up the comic book store, so...
Yeah, we're gonna read
See
some
what
comics.
happens.
We're gonna do some cool stuff. I already said if you like it, and I already said subscribe. So I think the next thing you got to do is you got to comment.
Your
let us
show.
know.
Comment. That's really what I want to know. What is your show?
Yeah. Tell us what your show is that you guys want to come to
movie,
Netflix.
really. Do you
Yeah,
want a
you could do a
second
movie.
movie of something?
Yeah, I mean,
for sure.
Let's get the Pacifier 3, because I'm pretty sure there's a second one already.
Is there a second one?
I don't know. If there's not
It does not look like a
second
second
one, let's make a fucking... Yeah, let's make that second
Or
one.
skip the
Get
second
Vin
one.
Diesel.
Skip the second one, go straight to the third.
Yeah. And they'll be like, whoa,
Screw the second.
where's the second? And then everybody's going to Google the pacifier, not know. It's going to be crazy. Yeah.
Even with questions is what I always say.
I don't know what that means. I feel like that's bad advice from most
No,
people.
just do it.
All right. I think that's about it for us today. We hope you guys have a great day.